Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, January 4th, 2021. It is the first trading day of the new year, and it is also the last trading hour of the day. The last hour is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades, because during the day you have the algorithms, you have the day traders. They are the ones that are in control of the price. In the last hour, in particular to the last few minutes, the large financial institutions come in with size. They wrestle the price away from the day traders and the algorithms, and I consider following what the large financial institutions do at the end of the day an edge in your trading in the long run. So, wow, first day of the trading year. How about that? And what a day it is. But first of all, thank you all for coming today. I hope you all had a nice weekend, holiday weekend. You had a fun New Year's Eve, good holiday season. And I really look forward to seeing everyone. And I'm very grateful that we have this group. I really, really am. So thank you for coming here and spending your time. And I hope what I teach in this channel is helping you. So what a day to begin the first day of the year. The Dow is currently down 494 points, down 1.62%. The NASDAQ is down 210 points, down 1.64%. And the S&P is down 66 points, down 1.78%. So a big down day today, no doubt about it. So, as always, this is what we're going to do today. The format. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. And we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I am going to manage them going forward. I did have a couple day trades today that I will share with you. After that, we're going to go over the board. We're going to take a look at your positions that are up on the board. I do see some green over there, more red than green, but at least I do see some green, which is good. So we're going to go over those. After that, about midway through the podcast, I'm going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. Most important part of the day, in my opinion. That's why I always like to touch on it. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have also gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner and have identified some potential end of day trades and end of day candidates for an end of day trade. I have 3 requirements before I look to enter any trade. First, look for a confluence or combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Second, I need to have a good risk to reward, at least 2 to 1, based upon valid and strong support below me and valid and strong resistance above me. So if I'm willing to risk $100, I need to be able to make 200 or more to the upside. And the number 3, especially, on a day like today, this makes sense. Please always take a few minutes and consider how many positions you have, how much account heat you have, or in other words, how much of your total capital is in a position, because any position, even if you think it's hedged, is a risk, right? And then also, it's very important to position size based upon the current volatility of the market. And with today's big move down, that is going to affect the volatility readings. So the way that I trade, the volatility going up, that will influence my 2 ATR reading. With the larger number, that will tell me to buy fewer amount of shares, because I'm trying to standardize my loss based upon low volatility or high volatility. So I'm going to go down through the candidates one by one. At the end of the day, I'm going to try to narrow it down to just the very best one using the 3 criteria that I mentioned before. And if I find something, I will go ahead and buy it before the market closes. And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer it. If you need any clarification on anything I did today, please let me know. If you have any stock positions that you would like me to look at before the close of the market, I'm happy to do that. Just go ahead, put the symbol in the description. Put an asterisk or emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive, and I'll do my best to get to it. And then lastly, if you have any new additions or subtractions to the board, your positions that are up on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day before telling me that. That way I'm done trading, I'm done teaching, pressure's off, market's closed. all that good stuff. Okay, so hang tight. I'm going to run that US legal disclaimer and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, make sure my mic's on. I know it is, but I'm OCD, so I have to check. Yes, it is. Hey, Lava74 is here. Good to see you, Lava. Hope you had a nice holiday weekend and New Year's, and the same to Johan. Johan says, hello, everyone. Hello, bud. Good to see you. Hope you're having a nice evening in Hong Kong. Bob says, hello, traders. Happy New Year. Hello, Bob. Good to see you. Happy New Year's to you, my friend. Brian is here. Hello, everyone. Hey, Brian. Good to see you, bud. Stephen Burns is here. Nice to have you, Steve. Just wanted to tell you at the beginning of the year that I always appreciate you being here. I'm always excited to see you. I know everyone else is. It's a big deal to me, and I'm sure to everyone else as well. So Steve says, interesting volatility spike today. Yeah, big time. Big time. VIX is up big today. I mean, big reversal bar on the downside with volume. Looks like everybody was waiting to get through the holidays before they made their move, but it should be interesting to see how we close today as usual, right? The closing is the important part. Hey, David, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, sir, you and the family, and you had a nice holiday. Johnson says, hey, Greg, hello, everyone. Wishing you all a successful trading year once again. Thank you, Johnson. That's very kind of you, and I certainly wish you a successful trading year also. Steve says, I currently have a VIX 1030 EMA crossover to signal my SPY put option if it holds into the close. Oh, let's take a look. That's not surprising. Where did my VIX? Where did my VIX crossover chart go? Oh, here we go. Yes. So Steve's talking about the 1030 EMA crossover, which you can see the pink line crossed over the blue line. That triggers one of Steve's trading strategies, where when the 10 is above the 30 EMA, he buys weekly puts at the money puts on the S&P. So it should be interesting. We all know the VIX is kind of a wild one. This could keep going up huge. It could come all the way back down and untrigger, but that's, like Steve says, we're going to have to wait till the end of the day. And that's why Steve and that's why myself, we wait till the end of the day to make most of our buying and selling decisions, because we want to see what that last trade is. Kamal says, hey, Greg and all. Hello, Kamal. Good to see you, bud. Nice chatting with you today and catching up with you. Appreciate your friendship, bud. Appreciate everything you do for the channel. Evan is here. Good afternoon. Hello, Evan. Good to see you, my friend. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Glad I was out of my SPY overnight at the open. I 100% agree. I didn't know you were in it, Frank. Did I not have you on here? I don't think I had you on, but yes, obviously. Who did I have? I had Jatin and Yas. So, okay, so Frank was on there as well. Good. Tracy is here. Hey, Trace, good to see you. Hi, all. Happy New Year's. Can we look at CNC today? Yes, we can. CNC. Pretty strong today. MACD crossover. We've moved up into the value zone. I just don't see a clear signal here as all, Trace. You know, we've moved off the lows. We've gone up nicely. The way that I trade, Trace, is I would look for a bit of a pullback now. And then look for a higher low V1 or V2. The people that were fortunate enough to have bought down here, if it gets weak at all or maybe rejects that 100-day moving average, that will probably be their signal to take profits. Most likely. I don't know for sure, right? But I have to look at probabilities. In that case, it would probably bring the stock back. I would look for a higher low V1, V2. We're right up getting close to resistance there. We have the 100 and the 1 ATR above us. So this is not something I would buy personally. Jason, how you doing, Jason? Happy New Year to all. Good to see you. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that, my friend. Happy New Year to you. Frank has a poem for us. I know this is going to be good. Some trades talk, some scream. Others turn out to be not what they seem. As hard as we try, we don't always get the trade we buy. The unknown in trading are the one thing on which we can rely. Boy, isn't that the truth? Let me paste this in here, bud. And let's read that one more time. Some trades talk, some scream. Others turn out to be not what they seem. As hard as we try, we don't always get the trade we buy. The unknown in trading are the one thing on which we can rely. Spot on, perfect, as always, Frank. Thank you, sir. Yep, there's a whole different kind of mix of trades, isn't there? And some do kind of scream at you, and some kind of chat, and some kind of mumble. Dr. Alexander Eller always taught me, buy the ones that scream at you. Thank you for that, Frank. Ava says, happy now, Greg and all. Hey, Ava. Good to see you. I hope you are doing well. Hope you had a nice New Year's. Thanks for coming. Steve says British Prime Minister Boris Johnson imposes national lockdown on England to combat CNBC. Yeah, well, I think we kind of saw that coming, at least from the headlines. Interesting. Okay. Let me check over here. All right, let's get started. Yes, Pat, David, Ramble Ron, and myself. We did buy AMD back here at 92.39 with this nice return to value, sideways motion, V2, bought it at 92.39. Thursday was down a little bit. Today it started out fantastic. It was up, let's see, how much was it up? At its high, it was up about 4.72%. Of course, you know, I take profits on the way up. I always scale out. I have standing limit orders placed for the next day, and I did hit 3 of them. Luckily, 92.99, 94.25, and 95.53. So I took 30% of my position off at higher levels, even though it has reversed, and it's still up a little bit. But this is just a perfect example of why I like to set profit targets, because, you know, I locked in here, and here at profitable levels, obviously, right? If it goes crashing back down, if I hold it and it goes crashing back down tomorrow, well, then it mitigates the loss because I've already reduced 30% of my position size at higher prices. We're right back here at support. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one, to be honest with you. It hasn't triggered my stop. This morning it got right to my stop, so it is respecting that. It is holding the 50 RSI. My inclination is to hold this. It's down. It's up still on a big down day. Has not closed below my stop, and it's right back into support. So my inclination is to hold this, but very glad that I hit those 3 profit targets at much higher levels. Alibaba. Okay, I did short Alibaba on Thursday at 231.76. It's 228.34. It's down 1.86%. I did short it on the weekly. We had this big bar down. We came up. We rejected the halfway of the previous big bar. We also rejected the 50-day moving average. We also rejected the 50 RSI, and that is why I shorted it. Also on the daily, we had a nice V2 to the downside. Here's day 1, 2, 3. Day 2 washed out day 1. Day 2 washed out day 1. Day 3 closed below day 1. So no profit targets yet. These profit targets are larger because it's on the weekly, but I am glad that it's down 1.86%. I mean, being that I'm short, right? So those two worked out really well. JD. So I think I'm the only one in JD. I did get in JD here at 86.24. It was a higher low V2. It was a 520 crossover. Big up day. The first day took some profits. Today, no profit targets. It is down 1.62%. It has rejected this previous high. This one I'm definitely consider just taking off at a small profit because it is still above my entry point plus the phase outs up here that I got. So I will be considering just kind of taking this as a scratch trade and taking it off. Jatin and Yas and Johnson and Frank and myself did have a nice overnight SPY trade. We bought the SPY on Thursday at the close at 373.88. Sold it right at the open this morning at 375.30. So pretty nice little overnight trade there. And as Frank said, it was really good that we got out because that was the top and it just went down after that. So good start to the year for the overnight SPY trade. I will be buying this again today at the close. Target. All right, we have Karen, Brian, Johan, and Ava. We all bought Target back here at 171.64. Nice return to value, sideways motion, V2. Moved up nicely, of course, took profit targets on the big up bars. It moved more than 1.5 ATRs from my entry. When that happens, if I get a close below the previous day's low, I take half. So I did take off half of the profits back here on the 30th with a close below the previous day's low. Went up yesterday or Thursday, hit some more profit targets, and did hit one profit target again today, up at 177.72. So I don't see any reason for me to get out of this trade. It's up nicely. It's up 2.93%. It looks like. Entry to current price. ULTA. I did buy ULTA at along with oh, that's right. I bought a half a position. Johnson got out of half. I bought at 277.95 with a higher low V2, 520 crossover. Moved up nicely, hit profit targets. Did not hit any profit targets today. You see my first profit target was up there at 290.83. Did not quite get that one. Holding the 5 EMA, I'm very likely to keep this one here. Oil down a lot today. I do have a longer term trade on oil. I bought here at about 30.98. It is up 4.03% on the trade, but it is down today. I did buy it on the monthly chart. So this is a longer term trade. I bought it with the under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, bought it at 30.97 exactly. So it is down. So it is down, but it is up on the trade. So I don't see any changes that I need with that. WBA, nice trade that I think just Kamal and I took. Yep. Kamal and I took this. We had a move down. We had a lot of sideways motion on Thursday. We had a nice bullish engulfing bar, rejection of the 50-day moving average, rejection of the 200-day moving average, rejection of the 50 RSI. We bought here at 39.86. It is up 3.49% today on the trade, which is great. Very close to my third profit target. And I did hit two profit targets here at 40.35 and at 40.86. So all in all, a pretty good day. I have to be very grateful to have a green day on a day like to this, obviously, especially with some bullish positions that I have. I also have a put that I sold on Google down to 1170, expiring June 18th, 21. So I have protection from 1726 down to 1170, paid $1,488 per contract as long as the price stays above. I picked the 1170 price because on the weekly, it has support of the 200 week above it. On the monthly, the 180 lines up nicely with the -1 ATR channel and the 50 month moving average as well. So that one down today. This is a bullish position. So Google is down today, but I'm still up overall on the trade. And then Apple, I had 2 day trades today on Apple. One wins, one loser, one win. But you know, the more important part here is that I try to keep the losses small, right? Here we went under 30, over 30 plus a V1. I bought at 130.08, kind of moved sideways, didn't really do anything. Then I had to get out here at 129.67 because it closed below halfway the washout bar. So I got at 130.08, got out at 129.67 for a loss, but undeterred, I did have a nice trade here, a second trade on Apple when we went under 30, over 30, MACD crossed over. We had a bullish engulfing bar and a V1. I bought here at 128.24, moved up nicely. I took some profits here on this big up bar at 129.04. Then we had a close below the previous day's low. I got out of the second. I sold another half at 128.67. Just held that last quarter, held it. Here rejected the 50-day moving average, and that was it. So I got in at 124. I got out at, 128.24. I got out at 128.67. I got out at 129.04, and I got out at 129.08. So there you go, 50% winning on my trades, but net positive. Again, because my winners were larger than my losers. All right, now we have some swing traders in here. We have Frank in at 111, so he's done well. It's 128.85. We had Jatin in at 123 even. It's 128.85, and so both of them are doing very well on the trade. All right. So let's take a look at DKNG. Kamal bought DKNG today intraday at 46.20. It is 45.18, so it's down over a little bit out of over a dollar for Kamal on this day trade. VIX, well, look at VIX up 10.48%. So Quad is in at 1940. Gary is in at 17.23. Gary sold half his position on the big move up, which he was, I'm sure, very glad that he did. It came back down. We had a little bit of up move, came right back down. So Gary is up very nicely in this trade. Again, it's up 10.3% today, and Quad is getting back very close, not very close, but he's made a lot of progress back to having back to break even. So congratulations, Quad. Oh, and Bob is in also. Sorry about that, Bob. So Bob's having a great day there as well. Very nice. Mastercard. Gary sold credit spreads January 15, 2021's 290, 280s. So as long as Mastercard stays above 290 by January 15th, Gary will keep all the premium that he sold, and it's at 350. So he's looking pretty good on that. Microsoft, big down day today. Yas bought Microsoft at 213.82. It's 216.96. It is down 2.47% today, but Yas only has a third. It looks like he scaled out at higher levels, which I'm really glad to see. AMC, Bob, I don't know if this was a real trade or not, because I know you posted that, and I think it was a joke. I'm not sure, but I didn't get it, so I'm totally out of the loop. But I did have you down here at 210 on AMC Entertainment. Currently, it's 203, so it is down 4.25%. So it's down on the day and down on the trade, if in fact that you did have a trade there. Kamal, I like this trade. higher low V1 back over the 50 RSI, but Kamal bought this at 46.56 and it is 45.01. It is down 3.43% today. Tesla, Jatin bought Tesla at 639.90. It is up. It is at 730.70. It's up 3.6% just today, and he is up 12.7% on the trade. So nice to see a little green in there. Yas, this has been a great trade that Yas bought on PTON at 115.97. It's 144.36. Down 4.84% today, but Yas is still up 19.88% on the trade. FSLR up today for Yas. Yas bought it at 90.98. It is currently 101.18, up 2.3% today. This from entry to current price is up 10.28%. So really nice trade there, Yas. DocuSign. Let's see. Yas has a third left. He bought it here at 224.12. It's 221.50. So it is under his entry price, but he only has a third left. So I know that he scaled out of 2/3 at higher levels, making this still a net positive trade. ALGN, another great trade by Yas. Not Yas. This is Jatin. Sorry about that. Jatin bought this here at 441. He sold half at 521.90, and it is down 1.72% today. It was up much higher earlier, but big reversal bar there. But this is a monster trade. Entry to current price, 16.25%. NIO, this pains me every time I see this chart. I would have bought this 1,000,000%. My chart did not show that day. It was blanking that day, so I couldn't buy it. And look what this trade turned into. But I'm really glad Yas and Frank have it. It's a beautiful example of a higher low V2. Higher low, we need to close below the -1 ATR channel. We need to rally back in. We need to have a pullback. Here is the V1, 46.10. It is up 9.25% today with that higher low V2. So congratulations, Frank and Yas. From entry to exit, or entry to current price, this is up 13.31%. So congratulations, gentlemen. Frank bought TDOC at, I believe this is right, 190.50. It's at 199.59. So it is down a little bit today, but it is nicely up on the trade. NEE, Johan, Johan bought NEE at 74.70. Had a beautiful move up. I don't know if Johan phased out at all, but it is down big today. Big bearish reversal bar and a lot of volume, down 4.17%. So that's unfortunate. Facebook, Jatin bought Facebook. He's in it at 280.97. It's currently 268.22, down 1.81% today. Workhorse is up. Yas bought Workhorse at 23.27. It's currently 21.31. It is up 7% today, but still down on the trade for Yas. AN, Frank bought AN at 66.88. Had a nice move up, gave most of it back today, got right back down to his entry point, and it bounced. So it is down on the day, but it still looks like Frank is up on the trade. IAU, nice big day today for Frank on gold. Frank bought it at 17.54. It's 18.51, up 2.1% just today, and up 5.29% on the trade. Very respectable trade. The Qs, Jatin bought the Qs at 308.80. It's currently 308.27, so it is down on the day, and it is now slightly down on the trade. And last but not least, Kamal had a nice trade here on Beyond Meat. He bought it at 123.79. Today, it's 124.52. It's down 0.38% on the day, but Kamal is up on the trade. So congratulations there, Kamal. FUBO is showing some recovery in the last hour. FUBO. Really straight up and really straight down though, down 12.04%. Pat is here. Hey Pat, good to see you. Looking forward to our lesson tonight. Jackson says, good afternoon, sir. Booked my Facebook and Google positions and even booked a portion of ALGN at 550. Now still holding some. Okay, update me on the end there, but it's good to see you, Jatin. Bob, in VIX at 1676. Yes, in AMC, still within my loss tolerance. Okay, Ava said, considering workhorse, looks like a V1. V2. It's a V2, Ava. See, here is day one. Day two washes out day one. Day three has to close above day one's close. Day one's close is 21.27. So to be a legitimate V2, the way that I look at this today, would have to close above day one's close of 21.27. Currently it's at 21.25, but not a V1. It's a V2. Here's day one. Day two washes out day one. Day three is trying to close above day one's close. All right. So listen, before we start looking at potential end of day trades, you know I like to look through Facebook posts, you know I like to look through Twitter posts and find some Twitter posts that I think are helpful. And today I found two of them. So it's a 2-for-1 day on the psychology section. So this is from Anthony Crudell. Anthony has a great channel on Twitter at Anthony Crudell. If you have not followed him, please do. He's a great trader. Seems like a really good guy. I've never spoke with him, but he has great posts. And so, like I said, I'm going to do two posts, but I have to read this one first for the second one to make more sense. The beauty of trading is if you're in the game, you have opportunity. Remember that when you're about to take on more risk than you should be. You're only stealing from your future. So you've heard me say this before, but in order for you to get good at any skill, whether it's trading, whether it's playing the guitar, whether it's bowling or whatever, you have to get in a lot of reps. You have to get in a lot of experience, right? A lot of people come into trading because it's easy to get into. They come in, they don't know anything about position size, stop losses, all this kind of stuff, and they blow up their account. It happens all the time. If you blow up your account, how can you ever get the experience to be good? If you blow up your account, that's it. You will never get good, right? So the only way to get good is, like Anthony says, you have to stay in the game, right? The beauty of trading is if you're in the game, you have the opportunity. So you have to stay in the game to get that experience, to get that repetition, and to get good at trading. So, you know, take the long view. It's a marathon. Trading is a marathon. It's one trade of the next, you know, you're just taking one trade of the next 1,000 trades. Don't bet your lifestyle. Don't bet everything on one trade, right? So position size conservatively, take those quick small losses, but more importantly, stay in the game like Anthony says, because if you're in the game, you have opportunity and you also get better and refine your skill. Now, along with that, this is from Corin Jackson. I was browsing through Twitter and I saw this post. And, you know, after I read this, you're probably going to go, oh, yeah, Greg's kind of big into that. And I am. But let me just first point out Corin Jackson. She's at Corin F. Jackson on Twitter. Fun little channel. So show Corin a little love and subscribe to her. But let's see what Corin has to say. Knowing the risk and accepting the risk are two different things. When I teach with my students, I always ask them, what is their maximum allowed loss? You know, good rule of thumb is 1% of your capital. But inevitably, not in all cases, but in most cases, they will start trading and say, yeah, I'm fine with the $1,000 loss. Well, maybe every once in a while you're fine with it, but what about on a day like today where maybe you have 2 or 3 maximum losses at one time, right? I always say, take whatever you tell me is what you think you're going to be comfortable with, your maximum loss, and divide it by 2. That's usually the right number. But like Corin says, knowing the risk and accepting the risk are two different things. If you know that your risk is maximum loss on a trade is $1,000, okay, you know it, but do you really accept it? In my experience, once they really happen, not theoretically, like, yeah, I know what my risk is, it's $1,000, but when they actually really happen, it's too much. So if, like Mark Douglas says, if you can really accept the risk, then you're okay, right? Then you're okay with the trade. Then only good things can happen if you really are okay with accepting the risk. But do some deep, hard thinking about whether or not what you think your maximum allowed loss is are you really going to be okay with it? Is it a sustainable loss? What about on a day like today where you might hit 2, 3, 4 of them at the same time? All right, so that's what I got. I got one from Anthony Crudell about staying in the game, staying in the game, getting better, refining your skill, not blowing up your account, getting reps under your belt. And then also along the same lines from Corin Jackson, knowing the risk and accepting the risk are two different things. You really have to find a risk that you can accept, not just know. So thank you, Corin, and thank you, Anthony, for that kind of 2-for-1 Twitter posts up there. That was helpful for me, and I hope it's helpful to you, everyone, being that we're starting, with the new year. Gary says, Happy New Year's, Greg and group. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Jackson says, so 29,950 was a very good support, I guess, on the Dow. Where did my... Low is 29.81 here on the index. -1 ATR channel, not too surprising. Bob says, Greg, on Workhorse, what makes the first bar in the V2 not just sideways motion? Well, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the V1, what makes the first bar in the V2 not just sideways motion? It is sideways motion, actually, but we have higher low V1s and V2s, and we have return to values. This was a higher low because we closed below it, went above it. Now we've come back down. This is a pretty good setup, and return to values need sideways motion. Higher low V1s, V2s do not need sideways motion, but all in all, this is pretty good. We have a double bottom with the bullish divergence here. I just noticed that. We have a rejection of the -1 ATR channel plus the V2. The only thing I would be watching here is the 50 RSI. Yeah, says, hi everyone, new year, and everyone, is Twitter almost V2? It's a V1. It's a V1 because today went below yesterday's low and now it's closing above yesterday's close. So this is a V1. If there's 2 bars involved, it's a V1. If there's 3 bars involved, like Workhorse, it's a V2. Although on Twitter, this is outside of my parameters where I can buy. Dan says, hi Greg and everyone. Today on Steve's Twitter, he had a great cartoon about Bitcoin. When I looked into buying a few Satosis and put on a cold storage, it seems complicated. I wish Greg had how-to video. Ooh, I'm not sure I understand that. Yes, says hi and happy New Year's, and everyone, is Twitter almost a V2? Oh yeah, it's a V1. Dan says thumbs up. Gossett, thank you. Steve says the Dow Jones key support has been around the high of November 9th's huge rally with the reversal day. Man. Oh, I see. Has been around the high in November 9th. Huge. Oh, I remember that day. Yeah. Yeah, right here. Right there. Exactly right. Good eye, Steve. And we know Prior resistance leads to support. This was resistance. We broke out of the resistance. That resistance now becomes support. And just like Steve says, we came down right to the support and bounced. Very good, Steve. Hey, everybody, give me 25, 30 seconds. I have to move the dog around. She waits until this time of the day to do this. So I apologize. Give me 25, 30 seconds. Okay, there you go, Kim. There you go. Okay, sorry about that. I can't concentrate and do the podcast when she's boring into my soul when she wants what she wants. So anyway, yeah, very good point there, Steve. That's exactly where that support was. Prior resistance becomes the new support, and that's what's happening. So, all right, let me just take a quick look at current positions about what I need to do here before I start getting involved in any other positions. All right, so AMD is up today, which is a good sign. I will be keeping this position. One, because I've already taken off 30% at higher levels on that big burst up, thankfully. It is holding the stop, which is halfway the washout bar on the V2. It tested it again today. It's holding over the 50 RSI. The only change I would make here is if it closes below 50 RSI, but also holds above the stop loss, my end of day stop loss, I would sell half. But it looks like it's holding pretty solidly here in this support here. So as is right here, I will be keeping that. Alibaba, of course, I'm short, down 2.28%. I don't see any reason to cover this. I think JD is the one I'm going to get rid of. It's right back down to my entry point. I did take some profits up here. It rejected this high over here. I don't like to let a winning trade turn into a losing trade. Right here, my inclination is just to take this off basically for a small profit. SPY, of course, I will be buying that at the close today. And be nice if we had another gap like we did overnight. But it's nice to see that the S&P overnight SPY trade is up for the year. And it was up last year for me, and it was up the year before. So last year was a bit of a dramatic year for the overnight SPY trade, but it did turn out okay. TGT is doing great. I will be holding TGT. ULTA, I believe I will be holding this at the very least unless it closes below the 5 EMA. This is down a little bit today, but still up on the trade. WBA hitting a new high. Oh, nice. Did you guys hear the bell for my, let's see. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. Third profit target right there, 41.73. Sweet. That's nice, up 3.92% today. So, that looks like about it. All right, so now let me go over to the potentials for today. EXEL does have a pullback to value. We came back into the value zone. We held 1 day, we held 2 days. We do have a false breakout to the downside, and we have a V2. This is a V2, Ava, because here is day 1. Day 2 washes out or goes below day 1. Day 3, which is today, is closing above day 1's close. Only thing about this one though is it's right at the 1 ATR channel. That's the first major resistance level that it's going to get to. That's one standard deviation away the middle of the channel here. It also dovetails with this about halfway of this big down bar. Let's look at the weekly. The weekly is in the value zone. It has that 100 week right above it. It's getting close to the 50 RSI. So that being said, I think I'm going to pass on EXEL. A little high in the channel. We have the big down bar here. We're at the 50% retracement, fib retracement. It's okay, but I just as a general rule, I don't buy right here at this 1 ATR channel. Beyond Meat. Okay, so this is interesting. Close 125. So this would be a V1, Ava. This is a V1 because here is day one. Today, which is day two, washes out day one, and now it is closed above day one's close. It has to close above there, but we have a false breakout to the downside. We have a V1. We have an under 30, over 30. Intraday, this went under 30. Let's just double check that. Yes, it did go under 30. So we have an under 30, over 30, false breakout to the downside, and a V1. All looks pretty good. And Kamal's in it from 123.79. Very nice, Kamal. So I do quite like that one now that I'm looking at it. Sprout Fresh Market. This is a V2. Here is day one, day two, day three. Day two washes out day one. Day three is above day one's close. But let's take a look at the context here. We closed below the negative 1 ATR channel. We rallied. We came back down. It is a higher low V2. It is a 49.67, meaning that it is already rejected the 50 RSI. If I was in this trade for another reason, I would be getting out of half today with the rejection of the 50 RSI. So this would have to close above the 50 RSI in order for me to get interested. But as it is right here, right now, I would not take this trade. Sorry, let me find, okay. So far, I like Beyond Meat the best. Okay, Zoom. Zoom has a pretty good setup here. It has a V2. Here's day one. Here is day two. Day two washes out day one. Day three, which is today, closing above day one. False breakout to the downside, also under 30, over 30, which is good. It's a 39.11 RSI. It's a little bit chasey though, to be honest with you. Let's look over on the weekly. I looked at this earlier in the day and I kind of wrote it off because see the negative 1 ATR channel above us as resistance. That actually still does concern me. It's okay. It is legitimate. But I believe, let me take a look at Beyond Meat. Well, they both have their pluses and minuses. So Zoom and Beyond Meat so far, OLLI. We came down, we made a lower high, we didn't wash out the low, plus it's an $8 stock, so I think I'm going to pass on that. Bill, a lot of selling that came up in here. We came down, we moved sideways literally for one day and then kept going down, so I do not see anything here on that. On home, I would imagine this would likely go down soon. I would rather, we made a lower low, we rallied, I'd like to see it come back and then grab a higher low V1 or V2. A higher low V1 or V2 is always better than a lower low V1 or V2, so I'll pass on that. So yes, Thursday we had the under 30 over 30. We have a MACD crossover. That big old bar there scares me. I think I'm going to pass on IQ as well. ANAB, big strong up day, but it's already rejected the 50-day moving average. NVO, false breakout to the downside of V2. However, you know, I don't like to take V1s and V2s if they're above, even if they're close to the green line. This is well above it, so I would let this one go also. CVX, V1, but not a great V1, is up today, which counts for something. I do like the weekly that it's rejected the 50-day moving, 50-week moving average, but I just don't see a clear signal there. Tilray, big day today. Close over the 250-day moving average. You know, you could use the 250-day moving average as your stop. That's about the only legitimate signal that I see here, but it does give you a good risk to reward ratio with buying over the 200, and if it closes below, getting out. It's in a pretty moderate area, although it has rejected the -1 ATR channel. Let's look at the weekly. You know, had the big strong move up. We've had some consolidation, so this looks decent, but it's an $8 stock, so I don't want to mess with that. CGC, big day up today, but it's already made a bit of a move there. I actually like Tilray better than that one. Lulu, this is a V1 because today we went lower than Thursday's and above. It is a V1. It is a, oh, it's already rejected the 50 RSI though. See, we're at 49.33 on the RSI and it was higher. So that already is telling us that it rejected the 50 RSI. It's not a great washout. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass on that. W, nice bounce off the 200-day moving average. Let's look over on the weekly. We're halfway of yesterday's or last week's big down bar, getting close anyway, so I don't like the risk to reward there. WSM, nice V1, major V1. Here's day one, here's day two. Day two washes out day one, closing above Thursday's close for a V1. I don't like how we got so thoroughly rejected up here. Let's see how close we were to the 50 RSI. Yeah, we were very close, so I'm going to let that one go. Pins, bullish engulfing bar. I would still wait for this. You know, I could see it having some momentum carrying it up, but I'd rather look for a higher low V1, V2 to carry us back up. I don't think it's going to go straight up. They rarely do. It might. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm wrong a lot, but the propensity for this kind of move would be to stall and come back down. QDEL, well, very nice V1, bullish engulfing bar. A lot of resistance up here. We have the 20, we have the 100, we have that big old down bar. It's tempting, but I'm going to pass on that. And SOHU, it's a double bottom with the bullish divergence. Here we have a bottom, here we have a bottom. This bottom had this big move down. Second bottom, the momentum was not as deep as the previous. One of my favorite setups is when you have a double bottom with the bullish divergence and then wait for the higher low to happen. So that's what I would do. So I think my two favorites here are going to be Beyond Meat because of the intraday rejection of the 30 RSI, false breakouts to the downside, and a V1 if it holds and it's green on the day, which is positive, and then Zoom. Zoom, a lot of volume, gotta say. Let's look at the monthly. Monthly's under the third. The thing that concerns me about Zoom though is it has the -1 right above it on the weekly, and it's a little chasey on the daily. I'm gonna go with Beyond Meat. That's what I'm gonna do today. Beyond, or let me check on current. So AMD's fine, good. My short on BABA is good. JD, I'm going to go ahead right now and just pull the trigger on JD. Right at about slight gain on the trade. It's at break even, but again, profits up here make this a profitable trade. So I just got out of JD, rebuying SPY at the close. TGT doing great. ULTA, that one will be a keeper. It's only a half position. WBA with the 3 profit targets. It's a nice day, 3.92%. And so that, I believe, is it. And it looks like Beyond Meat's what I'm going to buy today at the close. Johan wants to look at eBay. Well, we came into the value zone. We made a lower high. We made the lower high. I like to see the lower low get washed out first. I'd like to see this area have gotten washed out before the V2. It does have a it does have a 520 crossover, which is pretty good. Right now, I don't know how that back tests though. Yes, it's just curious if you could share what were your returns for the SPY in 2020. I think it was like 4.5%. Yes, I think it was 4.5%. I think 2019 was 14, something like that. So maybe around 9% average. TDOC. What time is it? Okay, I've only got 2 minutes. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's false break. I mean, it's pretty good. It's a false breakout to the downside. It's very close to a V1, and it's a close above the 200, and MACD is positive. Yeah, I like it. I like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and buy Beyond Meat. I better check one more time. See if that V1's holding. Close 125. Oh, I've already got it there. Yeah, I better wait. I better wait till the end to see if it's going to hold above 125. $0.07 spread on this, by the way, everybody. So it looks like we have about a minute to go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy Beyond Meat. All right, that's that. And that is the day. Wow, what a day. What a day. So let me just take a quick real fast, take a look real fast, see where I got filled on everything. So SPY got filled at 368.79 and Beyond Meat at 125.42. So BYND. So I got filled on Beyond Meat at 125.42. Okay. Okay, I'm going to make Kamal's blue then over here so we can keep those separate. Nice trade there, Kamal. And then SPY 368. Well, we got a discount on that one, didn't we? 368.79. Well, so far, good fill there for sure. All right. So AMD's good, bounce. Look like it's positive now. BABA, I am still short BABA, but nice down day on BABA. JD, I did get out of JD. It looks like I was the only one, so I'm going to take that one off. And listen, real quick, before you have any updates for me on your trades, and this is the time, by the way, if you have any new trades, any additions or subtractions, please put them in the live stream now, and then I'll get to them after I just take care of a little business. But just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I teach a 15-hour course. I think it's a really good course, 5 sessions, 3 hours. And I know if you take the course with me, do the one-on-one course with me, I know you're going to be a better trader. I take teaching really seriously. I really like to see my students succeed. And one bit of an announcement here. You know, I started this a couple years ago, and I've never raised my price in those 2 years, but there's always a time, right? And the main reason that I am going to be raising the price is just because I have too many students and not enough time. Honestly, that's really what it comes down to. So I'm not raising it right away. I'm going to wait till February 16th. That's my birthday. So, you know, if you want to take lessons before the price goes up, just schedule them with me before February 16th. So I just wanted to give you fair notice. You know, the current price is $1,000 for the course. I think it's really worth a lot more than that. I am going to be increasing the price. I'm not exactly sure how much, but you know, if you've been thinking about it, you know, definitely do it before February 16th when I raise the price, because I will be raising it just to give myself a little bit more time, because I've had so many students lately that it's just a bit too much. So, you know, supply and demand and all that kind of stuff, I hope you understand. And then if you like today's podcast, I would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. Oh, I guess I should say, if you're interested in the lessons with me, just send me an email. Email's in the description of the video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. I'll reply. We'll have a little Skype call. I'll learn more about your trading, your goals, your challenges, and then it's a good time for you to ask me questions, right? And then if you want to go forward after the call's done, you can just email me back and let me know. Okay, now, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help build the channel. It helps keep the channel around and lets YouTube know that there's some valuable content here. So, all right, that's business all taken care of. Let's get to the important stuff and see what everybody is doing here. Okay, Kamal is out of DKNG. All right, good trade, Kamal. Follows your rules. That's all that matters, right, bud? And he got rid of the losing one, and he kept his winning one, and he's in Beyond Meat. And I think, yeah, I've already got that. Jackson, hey, buddy. There's my buddy Jackson from Australia. Good to see you. Hope you and your girlfriend are having a really good trip down there. Not that you're visiting there, but you're visiting a different part of the country. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's to you, Greg, and everyone in the group. Here's to committing to the process, rules, and small losses for 2021. I'm sure profits will come as a result. Yeah, I love that. That's perfect. It's about the process and rules and small losses. And you're right. If you focus on that, if you focus on the risk and focus on the process, the profits are just a natural consequence of doing that. They will take care of themselves. Jackson said, I exited Facebook at 271. Okay. So you're out of Facebook and you're out of Google. GOOG. Oh, I have GOOGL. GOOG. Oh, sorry everyone. I had GOOG and GOOGL. So I thought when I looked at Google we had them both. Gary sold credit spreads at 1570 expiring January 15th and 1550. So it looks like, you know, knock on wood, we still have 11 days, but this does look very good for Gary to get the premium on both. And then Jatson was in at 1738 and he got out at 1750. Okay. So let's take Jatson off of there. Very nice. And we'll leave Gary's credit spreads up. Hope those come in for you, Gary. I really hope so. And booked some profits on ALGN at 550. Holding some and booked all of my Qs. Okay, so he is out of Qs. Oh, and Frank has a trailer here from 284.60. So Jatson is out. Okay, so a couple dollars higher. That's good. Book some profits. Okay, so ALGN. So we'll put up here, that had to be today, right? So 550 right near the top. Very nice. All right, so I've got that marked down. So it looks like Jatson probably, I don't know, has a quarter left maybe? Something like that. So he booked profits. He booked profits at 521.90 and he also booked profits at 550. Nice round number. And then out of Qs, right? Jackson says, I have a position in an Australian tech stock, APT, but nothing in the US as a big sit-out signal for the past week or so. Okay, sounds good. Karen, hi Taryn, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Karen says, out of TGT, I'm still in cash. Okay. Oh, that's right. Hey, how did your holiday go at the cabin, Karen? All right, so I'm going to take Karen out of there. Sorry, everybody. I do my best to get these all straight, but sometimes I mess them up a little bit. But I'll get them on the back end. But yeah, how did your trip up to the cabin go, Karen? Yes, is that a workhorse? All right, so that looks like. Well, good to get out of it on a day when it's up 8.29%. I'd say that, right? And in Twitter now, going veggie for now, so no Beyond Meat. TWTR. That's yes. It was up today. That's nice, and it was a V1. Okay. Steve says, okay, so Steve, so the 1030 EMA crossover did confirm, so which means Steve is now selling the market short with his put strategy on the S&P. So let's see. So Steve bought S&P put options for 406 a contract. Okay, so I'm just going to put Steve bought the Friday, which is Friday is the 8th, 1/8/21 SPY puts. And that's the 369 strike. Okay. And he paid $406 per contract. All right, there you go, Steve. Steve usually does pretty well on these. That's a pretty good signal. So Steve is in the short game. In the short game. Stopped out of AN. Okay. All right. Good trade, Frank. Anytime you follow your rules like Kamal and I say, it is a good trade. Gary's in Beyond Meat. Well, I like my company who's in Beyond Meat now, Kamal and Gary. I like that a lot. Johnson is just the overnight spy. Okay. Frank, you in the overnight spy, bud? There's Keely. She's saying hi. That's my doggy. Pat exited AMD. Okay. And I will speak to you tonight, Pat. I'm looking forward to that at our regular time. It'll be fun to catch up. What you doing, Keely? Johan is at a TGT. Out of NEE. Oof, that was a brutal day there. At a slight profit. Good. And Beyond Meat and ZM. Yeah, I can definitely see the ZM in there. So let's put ZM over here. All right. And that is Johan. Go on, lie down, girl. Okay. I'm speaking to my dog, by the way, not a girlfriend. There you go. Good girl, good girl. And then Beyond Meat. We have Johan. Okay. Yeah, says, oh my gosh, Greg, what a coincidence. My birthday is also February 16th. Is that right? I cannot believe it. No wonder I am glued to this channel hosted by you. Just wow. Yep, February 16th is my birthday. How about that? So we'll have to wish each other a happy birthday. And Gary says, out of a half VXX. That doesn't surprise me, Yass. You know, just the personality you have, it feels a little bit like mine. So sold half, so I'm going to put here sold 3/4. That is about the same, right? 3/4. Very nice. I always think it's a good idea to take some profit when the market gives you some profit, right? I always talk about this. And by the way, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about this. You know the podcast I'm doing with Michael Lamont? That's going to be tomorrow right after, basically at 4:30 Eastern time. So essentially 15 minutes from now, but not today. That's tomorrow, right? And that's and Mike's the host of the Traders Mind Chat show. So just to help promote it a little bit, I'm going to put the link in there for the webinar. And like I said, it's just, the market closes at 2 o'clock my time. It'll be at 2:30. So tomorrow, actually, when you have your new entries and exits for me, I'm going to have to just write them down to save time, because I need some time between this and then doing another podcast for another hour and a half or whatever. So tomorrow I'm going to have to cut it a little bit short. But I did put the post in there in case you'd like to swing by. I think it's going to be a good interview. Johan says, Greg, can definitely say my experience learning from Greg was worth every penny. Oh, thank you, Johan. It was just a pleasure teaching you too. What a fantastic student. You were unbelievable. Really, really. And it shows in your trading. Jatin says, we say we should avoid averaging down, but ultimately we have emotions. I did the same in Facebook. The market kicked me, but who saved me? My position size? It was just a quarter, but lesson learned again. There you go. You always learn lessons, and all you can do is learn from them and not repeat them. But I'm glad that you acknowledge that, Jatin. That definitely shows some maturity in trading that you have. Karen says, the cabin was great. It had a huge fireplace, and my friends were crazy as always. Thanks for asking. Good for you. I was up hiking, and I was wondering how you were all doing there, Karen. I did kind of visualize that you were with a bunch of people and having a good time. So that's fantastic. Love says, it seems that my losing trades are almost always losers from the beginning. Yep. Would it be a good idea to set a stop at the price I paid? This would mean that my losses would be limited to gap downs. Well, that's a tough one. There's always pluses and minuses to that. I mean, you could, but of course, trades have certain ranges that they move around, and if they just move within noise, it doesn't really mean anything, and that doesn't always happen. I mean, there's times where you're going to have a small losing trade to begin with it, or then you're going to have a rocket ship to the upside, Leva. I personally, I know how it feels, and I know what you're saying 100%. And yes, the best trades usually do take off right from the beginning, right? That's pretty well known. But you could do it, but my concern is that your entry price is not really a valid area of support on getting out of the position as your stop at that price. It's just a price in your head. It's not so much a valid price on the chart. But, it couldn't, it wouldn't be a bad thing, but it's not always going to happen like that, right, Lova? Frank says, no overnight spy. Oh, goodness. Okay. I am retracting Frank's name from the Overnight Spy Chronicles. Let it be known. All right. And my winners would still pay what they usually do. My only thought there is sometimes you're going to have a slight loser that you're going to get out of, and it's going to turn into a big winner. Those are my thoughts. Just your entry price, I don't think is a valid stop point other than just in your head. You know what I mean? Look at Look at WBA here, Leva. Well, I guess that's not a good example because that one took off right away. TGT. Well, look, here I bought TGT at 171.64. Then it went up and it came back down to 171.46. So with that approach, you would have bought here, and then you would have gotten out here and missed out on the whole move up, where really the real valid support was here where I put the stop. Jackson says, yes, Jatin, as traders, and especially with New Year's, important to look at our behaviors and focus on, as Jesse Livermore puts it, Our sit out power. Oh, I like that. I've read that book. I don't remember that. Sit out power. Kamal has his own superpower, which is adhering to his stops. Do you like that? I love when Kamal says that. My superpower is adhering to my stops. Let's all have superpowers and just adhere to our stops. If we just adhere to our stops, everybody, makes trading way easier. But sit out power, I like that also. Thanks for that, Jackson. Jatton says, thanks, sir. It's been great learning every day. Thanks for that, and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, I will. Let's see real quick what's happening after hours. AMD, down 10 cents. Alibaba, up 15 cents. Beyond Meat, down 22 cents. The Dow is up a little bit. Google is down a little bit. The Qs are down just a smidge. The SPY is down 12 cents. Let's see what Mr. Vixie's doing. Probably up, right? Yeah, up 5 cents. Wow, what a day to begin this with, huh? To begin this year with. Well, I am thrilled that it was green on my end. I am thrilled, thrilled, thrilled. That's always nice to get started with a little green. And if your day wasn't green today, don't worry about it. Let's not force it. Let's just trade our process, position size correctly, use our superpowers and our stay out powers to not take trades unless there's a real trade, to get out when we're supposed to, position size correctly, and then also on the other side, having the ability to let profits run as well, right? We need that. You need to have some big winners to pay for all those little losers. That's just the math of it. All right. Gary says, thanks, Greg. Enjoy the rest of the day. I hope that everyone has a fantastic new year. Remember, keeping your losses small and let your winners run. 100%. And nice going, Gary, on your trading lately. Everything has been just great. The puts you've been selling have been great. VIX has been great. I can't remember, Gary, last time I had a losing trade. So congratulations, my friend. I'm proud of you. All right. Johan says, enjoy your day, everyone, and enjoy your hike, Greg. Wish everyone a fabulous year ahead, good health, and good trading. Very kind of you, Johan, and I wish the same for you, and I'm sure everyone else does. All right. Well, that is that. So remember, it's a new year, but still, let's do these two things every day. Let's try to go out and do something nice for another human being on this planet. If we could do that once a day, it would make the world a lot better place. If we could also go out and do one nice thing for an animal that you come across, that would also be fantastic. If we could just do one thing for an animal, one thing for a human, if everybody could just do that, just one little small little thing in the aggregate, it would just be a lot better world. I'm certain of that. So, Kamal says, thank you, Greg, and happy hiking. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. And like I said, if you like today's podcast, if you haven't hit the like button already before you head out of here, I would really sincerely appreciate that. Kamal says, good trading, Gary. I agree, 100%. That's been some real good trading. You know, everyone kind of goes in streaks. You know, sometimes Kamal will just get on a monster streak. And then Johan will get on a monster streak. And then Steve will get on a monster streak. And, you know, Jackson's always on a monster streak. Right, Jax? And I occasionally get on a good streak. And I've been on a decent streak lately, I have to say. But, you know, everyone in here goes on streaks. So if you're not in a streak at the moment, don't worry about it. You know, it goes up and down, right? Some people have the hot hand sometimes, but not all the times, and it'll switch back around to you. So keep that in mind. Never compete. Never try to play catch up. Just play your own game, trade your own game with the right position size, risk, all that stuff, right? Don't let any peer pressure get involved. Excuse me. All right, that's it. The first day of the trading year is in the books, and I really appreciate you coming, everyone. Oh, Guillermo says, we are in a stock bubble. I would not disagree with that, Guillermo, at all. At all. But I would caution against, if you feel that way, I would caution against just outright shorting the market, because stock bubbles are the toughest ones to short. Brian says, I'm on a streak unless you erase my trades. Sorry, buddy. All right, we need to just get Brian's trades back in. You left for a while there, Brian, and I wasn't sure, and I thought you said, Greg, I'm out of my trades, and so I think I just deleted all your trades because you weren't there for a bit and to save space. So I apologize, bud. I apologize. Maybe tomorrow we can get back on track as far as exactly where you're at. But I'm glad to hear Brian's on a streak. And yes, Brian goes on lots of streaks. Proud of Brian as well. Love says, Greg, your explanation was helpful. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you're going to get out at your entry price and it's going to go down and you're going to feel like a genius. And then it's going to go 3 cents below your entry price and you're going to get out and it's going to go roaring back up. And then you won't feel so much like a genius. But your entry price is not, in my opinion, really a valid level that the market is going to look at and respect. It's just in your head, right? So, but I agree with you, Guillermo. I do. I actually really do. But I'm not going to just full blown go out and short the market. I'm just going to trade the bubble to the long side until it proves me wrong. And I think that's it. So any of you have Bitcoin out there, congratulations. That had a big weekend. I think, I'm not sure, I don't have it up yet, but that looked like I had a good week. So, all right, everybody, thanks again for coming. Have a good rest of your day, all right? And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Take care. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and Forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.